Welcome back to Brazen Brits. We are back in the van. Now, we've had a bit of a break. We've been doing some other stuff. Thank you for all the concerns. I have found other employment since I got laid off in December. I've been there a couple of months now, so that's going fantastic. Love the company. Great to have some money coming in as well. But today is something I wanted to do before we left, and we just completely ran out of time. And you can go back and watch the van build videos because we had a month to get this from a dog van into a living van. And today we are going to install the Viofo 3-camera dash cam, and I will explain why we have these in all of our cars and why we think they're important.
It really makes me wonder. Ooh, it makes me wonder.
We've had dash cams for not all these, but we started off with a ROAV, I think, that we had in all of our cars, and they were just forward facing. Now the reason I like them is because there is a lot of insurance fraud around, and if you have ever been on YouTube, you at some point a video of dash cam footage will come up where there's a compilation of accidents and things, and it happens from things like someone reversing into you and saying you went into the back of them. That's why I always had them on the front. Well, now it's coming into the things where people will drive into the back of you and then blame you for reversing into them. And so really it's for insurance and fault, whose fault it is. But I really like the idea of having a 3-camera one. So this is so you can see out the front, out the back, and you can see in the cab. So if I was distracted and I was the cause of an accident, I'm happy with that, and I want it on film so that I can see all of that stuff. I'm not going to blame someone else for my mistake. So anyway, these are really important. I really wanted it for our cross trip country. We just ran out of time installing it. So, future-proofing, Natalie, I'm going to install this today. Now, I did already do a little bit of prep because this is obviously a very long van. These are designed more for cars, but it will work. The only thing I had to do was order an extra cable for the rear camera because it's so long. I'm hoping it's going to work. I didn't order it from Viofo, I just ordered it off Amazon. It's just a USB extension, and I've already fitted that where I did the electrics and the lights. So I'll come on to that more when we go and install the rear camera, but let me just show you the kit quick. Alright, so the main part here is the main camera with the screen. So this will go on the windscreen, and we will see this camera, and then there's a camera here pointing out the front. This has a cover for it, so I think it's like an anti-glare kind of lens, which is cool. I've put that on. And then from this, you have this little adapter, which is it's almost like a headphone jack that goes in the side, and that controls the front camera. So this will be out the front window. This one will be looking inside the cab. Now this one isn't really that important, but I think it is useful. I think the WAGs, someone went into the back of the WAGs and they had a front facing and a cab facing one, and you could see the car in the background behind Leslie as it hit her. If I can dig that out, I'm going to steal that clip. Thank you, WAGs. So I do like the idea of having this. It might also help with if it's a major accident, which, you know, God hope it won't be, but you can see whatever damage, whiplash, anything like that, and it might help the medical people. So front camera, inside camera, then we have the rear camera with a long cable, which I already installed one. So this is rear camera. We have to mount this at the back. One thing I'm concerned about is this is not waterproof, and we don't have a window at the back, so I'm going to have to hide it underneath the bit, and you'll see that in a moment, so that I can hopefully not get water in this USB port. I could put some electrical tape and things around it as well, but we'll have to figure that out in a moment. The only other things it comes with a whole manual thing, a bunch of stickers, really cool stuff, another extra cable, not really sure what that's for, and it comes with a hardwire kit, which I will probably do at some point today. I'm just going to wire it into a USB port, and it also comes with this 12 volt to USB. So at some point I will connect this directly to the ignition, so it turns on when the ignition is on. Alright, so I'll talk a bit more about the actual features of this, but this is the A229 Pro. It does come with an SD card slot. It even comes with an SD card, which is great. Normally you have to buy those separately. It's Wi-Fi, it's got all the things. So once we've got it plugged in, we've got everything set up, then I'll go through the features of the camera. All right, so I've got everything here I'm going to use to test. So let's plug in this interior camera. Then I have the rear camera. I'm just going to use this little cable for now. Hopefully it should work. So there's even labeled here, rear, USB-C, plug that in. Oh, hold on. No, I need USB-C to USB-C. Okay, so you need a USB-C to USB-C. So this is the cable that I previously ran. I need to run it out the back of the van, but just for testing, let's just plug that in. So that runs there, and then I'm going to scoot round, Natalie. That runs all the way down to the front here. And actually it's marked on this cable. Connect to front cam. So we're going to connect this. So we now have the front facing camera, the inside camera, and now the rear camera is connected. I have the power going to a USB port. I'm just going to plug this in, so this should power everything up. I don't know where the power port is. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's good to repair. Oh, okay, we have a light. So I just want to check that all three cameras work.
Ooh.
Okay, so I don't know if you can see this, but we have the inside camera at the top right there. You can see us there. Oh, it's the wrong way around. There's Natalie with the camera. The top left here is the back of the van. It's obviously just dangling, kind of looking over here, and then this will be the front one that goes out the front.
Nice.
So good. Right, all three work. I had to do a little bit of setup at the beginning there just to set the time settings and things like that. At some point I need to connect it to Wi-Fi on my phone. I'm sure it needs some firmware updates and things, but good. I'm glad the cameras work, which means I can get it all set up and then I don't have to worry about that. So, all right, I'm going to go place this at the front somewhere. And then I'll work on the back because that's going to be a pain, and I probably need to drill a hole and figure a few things out with that. So let's get the easy bit done first. Alright, so one thing I always worry about when I'm placing these is I don't want it to be in my way and start getting in the way. So most people would put it like here in the middle and it just doesn't work. I know Natalie's car, we put it on the passenger side so it doesn't block the view, but here where the van is so big, I think it's going to work just up here. There's a couple of things I'm looking at. One is to get it as central as possible so that when you watch it back it's obvious you know where it was, and the other thing is I want to keep it out of my view, but also I want to be able to hold or hide the wires. I think this is about as good as I'm going to get. I don't know where I'm going to put this front one yet. I'll have to play around with that, maybe up here or something. Just find a way to hide the wire. But anyway, so first of all, let's just get this thing on. Real simple, it's just a sticky pad, so pretty sure you can twist it down like that. So that should be all right. This is very wide angle.
Okay.
So I can see both seats here. All right, cool. Well, the easy bit's done. So it does come with a tool, which they rarely do, which is very handy for anything you're doing, which is a trim tool. So this is kind of a hard plastic, but not enough to break anything. So this will break before anything else in most cases. So this just allows you to shove the cable up underneath the thing. And so the van's really easy, obviously it's a commercial vehicle, but other cars are pretty easy. My truck is really easy. There's just take the side trim off. So I think I am going to figure out how to take the side trim off to run those cables and keep that tidy. I also need to run the cable for the back. So what should we do first, Natalie? Run these cables and stuff, or do you think I should go and fit the back camera?
Run these cables.
A couple of things. I do want to take this off. I need to take this off for the power, because the power will come down here somewhere under the dash, and I'll plug it into there for now until I hardwire it. But I also have, this is the cable that runs to the back camera, so I need to run this up and around under here, which I think is just going to be a case of just shoving. You can see how flimsy this is. I can just shove my finger up in there. So I think once I take this off, I can get this cable up behind, which will then trail to here, and I'll pull back any slack, and then this power will go up along here and then down through here. Now this looks like it just pops off. Which it kind of does. I'm going to be careful because there is a airbag behind here.
Oh.
So another thing that you can do, if these aren't too bad, any car, you can just pull these off and I can just run the cable straight down here if I'm honest. I've got a huge gap under here. There's an airbag actually all the way around. That's cool. Alright, so let's see. I might not even need to take this off. So it looks like it goes up. Still a bit hard in there. Yeah. Alright. Natalie just asked a good question. Do I need to take it off? And I'm
not convinced.
Not convinced I do. I think I can just squeeze it through here. Annoyingly, they've got these cables all over it. I don't like it. I hate cables. It drives me insane.
Use your tool.
Yeah, it's fine. I'd use it. Amazing how no one ever notices the big gap behind there.
Well, I don't often need to look up
No.
under my windscreen, honestly.
Right, I do want to make sure I get this behind or on top of the airbag. Well, that was easy.
Cool.
Alright, so there's that.
That one needs to come up and down. Yeah.
It's funny, even in the most fancy cars, this is really easy to do. Sometimes, like I know in the Ford trucks, they have on the handlebar, like on that side, there's a screw in the handlebar, and that's literally all that holds that on.
Ah.
Right, so now the hard bit is, I need to get this cable underneath, all the way under here. Well, that was easy. So now, this just pops back on. We have a problem. This is the camera. I need to feed this cable out through here. I'll show you this bit in a second, but I'm too short and I've lent someone my ladder.
Uh-oh.
And I can't get up here.
You know what? I think we have a spare ladder in the shed.
Do we?
Yeah, I think the previous owners left one.
Really?
I don't know. Let's go look.
Let's go have a look.
So just for your information, we do have a spare ladder in the shed. But rather than moving 3 pieces of wood, Lawrence is making this extra complicated by backing the van up to his truck. Men's logic. Why? Just get the ladder out of the shed. Oh God.
I'm a genius now.
This is not genius behaviour, Lawrence. This is insanity.
So we do have a ladder in the shed,
Yes.
but it's behind all of the stuff.
It's behind 3 pieces of wood. This is way more inconvenient.
This has engine. I basically have like my own scaffolding now. This is way better than a ladder. And in case you're wondering, this is the back flip. So it can hold 350 pounds. Don't say it, I'm nowhere near that. Alright. It's going to go like here. I don't want it in the way of the backup cam.
Yeah.
So I either want it here or here. I don't know which way the camera should go though.
Oh, okay.
So I might need you to look up front, because then I'm just going to drill a little hole, feed this cable through, and where it's underneath this, it should be protected from the rain.
Yeah.
So I think it will probably go somewhere like that. And then the cable can just go up through here, and then I just need to feed it through this roof. So, alright, I'll plug this in. Could you go turn the ignition on and then tell me on the camera if it's this way or this way?
Okay.
Is it on?
Yeah. That's upside down. That's the right way round.
That's the right way round?
Yeah.
Okay, so it needs to go on the left.
Alright.
The reason I did that gently is because there's other wires behind it. So this is a tough bit. I tried to take this off before and we snapped it because it doesn't come off. There is bolts and stuff inside, but the reason I'm saying that is because now I need to figure out, I have to filter that through here and get it into this hole. I can't do it the other way because I've already fed the wire.
Yeah.
So I might have to even like chase it through somehow. Damn it.
Do you want me to look?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh yeah, I see it. Stay.
There you go, your little hands are good for two things. Yeah!
Woo!
Now one thing I wish I'd done is bought a right angle adapter
Ah.
for that. That's annoying, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh well, let's just get it working. So when I fitted this cable and we glued this back on, one thing I forgot is to put these little covers on, which two things. One is the rain can get in and there's electrics behind here, but it hasn't affected it. The worst thing is, where we haven't finished the interior, I forgot that there's holes along here, and so when I was so cold at night I would lay here because the wind was just coming straight through because I didn't put these stupid things on. Oh man, we were so cold, so cold. This would have made all the difference. Look at that, they're just little, they're gonna fall off.
Yeah.
They're all legit.
Huh.
Alright, cool. This has been really easy.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Okay. Right.
Let's
go
not
have
speak
a look.
too soon.
I'll go have a look, see what this looks like, then I'll pull the truck back and then I can take it around the block to make sure it works. But let me go play with it first. So, first thing is, this is the first time Natalie and I have been in the van together since we took it to get the torque converter fixed in Tucson.
Yep.
Well, driving.
Yeah, yeah.
Obviously, we've been in the van. Anyway, but this is kind of cool. You can connect it to the Wi-Fi constantly, and I can just look at any of the cameras. Obviously, I don't need the front or the interior, but the rear one is handy for driving if we're looking at stuff. So that's kind of cool.
Well,
it's almost like a
like before,
observation
if you
cam.
had e-bikes or that trailer
Yeah.
thing you said about on the back, just to make sure stuff's still on the back.
Yep. And it was turned down. I had to switch the camera up, and it was kind of funny because I smashed my head against the door.
What?
But that I moved it up so it's more like an observation cam than that. But if we are ever parked up at an RV park or something, we can flick it down so that it covers the back door just in case anyone's looking at stealing something.
Yeah, okay.
But,
Haha, don't steal our van, we have cameras now.
yeah, you can steal stuff, but we can see you do it. We're not going to do anything though about it. All right, cool. This is good. So I'm going to take it for a little drive. You can see some of our overlay of all three cameras and see what you think. Let us know. So what I've done, if you remember, I installed this head unit, which is just an Android head unit. I've connected it to the camera, so I actually have an observation cam.
Aha, that is
Because one
clever.
thing we were thinking, I don't want to give anything away. If you've got this far in the video, here's a little secret. We're thinking about putting one of those like tow bar carry things on so that we can put stuff on them. For example, the dog fence.
Yep.
We don't want it in here, so it means that we can have that on the back of the truck, which means that having this, we can use this to make sure everything's okay. So that's cool. Live view cam.
That is
the only
cool.
problem is, Natalie, I can't connect to another Wi-Fi network. It connects to this through Wi-Fi. I'll have to see if I can do it through Bluetooth.
Because otherwise it's one or the other.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that's kind of handy. All right, so it all works, and some of you are going to love this. I did not have to create an account for this app to work on my phone. I just downloaded the app. It's free. You connect it to the Wi-Fi on that, and it just works. So you can see the three cameras here, and you can switch between them. Live view, so that's the front here that you're seeing out front. Then you can see my pretty face here. The only annoying thing is that this bit up here kind of gets in the way. It'd be nice to see stuff in
Behind.
the back. So another cool thing is if I can get this so that it's on all the time, we can essentially use this as security cameras for the van. So if it's on and we have all the windows and this bit all shut up, we can see what's going on outside.
That's
without
true.
that, so that would be handy, wouldn't it? And we have a spare phone. We have our visible phone in here, so we can actually have it running full time on the visible phone.
Yeah.
And we can connect it to that battery. So anyway, I'll have to think about that. So yeah, there's the inside view, and then that switches to the rear view, and that's the truck that I was using as a ladder. It's so simple. Like, there's no faffing around with this. There's no account creation. You just connect the camera and it turns up.
But does that mean anyone can connect to it?
No, because it has a Wi-Fi network that you need a password for.
Okay, so you do need to set a password for that.
Yeah, so you set a password for the Wi-Fi. There's a whole bunch of settings in here as well, but I mean, you know, you can change the exposure and everything on here. There's a whole bunch of stuff. But
how many days does it record?
it depends on your memory card.
So what the one they send with it?
Yeah,
typically?
I think it was a 64 gig memory card, and I think the cameras are only 1080p. I would prefer 4K, but they're extortionate money right now, so I'm happy with 1080p just to have this security. And so yeah, but it's got like the parking stuff. It has a battery. I don't know what battery it is, but it's a pretty chunky unit, so I'm guessing it's probably got a good couple of batteries in there.
Yeah.
So it will work, and it still will alert you if someone hits you in a parking lot or something like that. Wow, there's tons of settings in here that I don't think we're ever going to use, so we'll just leave it as it is. But you can actually rotate and mirror the images as well, which is good. So it didn't matter where we put that back one, because we could have just flipped the image anyway. So cool. All right, well, I'm happy. I really wish we had done this before we did our trip, not only for our security whilst we're parked up, but also for our driving, so that we saw some crazy driving when we were out there.
Yes.
But also for you guys, we can use this footage, even though it's only 1080. We can use this footage and overlay it when we're driving and things, rather than having to hold the camera. So I kind of missed that when we were on our trip. All right, I'm going to correct myself. I'm extremely happy right now because this is 4K. So the front one pointing forward is 4K. That's the most, the one that you want the 4K on. The rear one is 2K, which is still amazing quality, and the interior one is 1080 because you don't really need that detail. The reason why the front and rear you want clear is so that you can see license plate numbers. Because how much security footage have you seen where you cannot capture the license plates? Yeah. So, and it's wide angle because it needs to carry that, so it needs to be able to see that. But yeah, so anyway, so I've got the A229 Pro. Thank you, Viofo, for sending me this. I promised this video before we did our trip, so I'm very sorry. But thank you for sending it. It looks like a really good kit. I can't wait to play around with it. And if in the future, when we do some trips on the van, we have a few more things that we want to do first. But you'll hopefully see some footage from this, and so you can judge yourself how good it looks. All right, that's pretty easy, Natalie. I thought this was going to take hours.
Yeah, let's wrap this up before the storm hits.
Yeah, I've got a bit of tidying up to do, and I want to hardwire it to our Vatra battery, which is still running amazingly well, by the way. So I love that thing. It's a 480 amp hour. So I'll leave a link to that below. I'll leave a link to this below as well. But yeah, so next week we're hoping to do the dog crates, right?
Yep.
We can't use the van with the dogs because they don't have crates, so we have to build some custom crates in the back. I have no idea how I'm going to do it. You guys have a week or less than a week, because I need to start it this week in order to get it out on video for next week. So if anyone's got any ideas of how to custom build some cool dog crates that is affordable, please let us know. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the thanks button because Natalie loves it when you do that. And don't forget, if you'd like to come to Braziere and support a couple of tits, Natalie and myself, just like everyone else below who we really, really appreciate, then hit the join button. All right, we'll see you next week.